Sheep was falling and it's scary. Since I still believe, can you help me? The madness breaking all the levees. If one voice is heard, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl Mystique, Riot, and the yeehaw to YouTube. Alright, I'm coming at you right now with another, you know what it is, words of truth, because I ain't got no lies to tell you, alright? The name of this video that I'm calling this, I'm going to call this, Breaking the Cycle. Now, this is a video about generational curses, or I'm not even going to say generational curses. I'm going to say generational cycles, because it's too often are we always talking about the curses and negative things of life and Christianity, spirituality, and all this. But it's very rare that you hear anybody talk about the good side of AKA karma, because karma is not necessarily always bad. Karma is good sometimes too. It's just that a lot of the times people spend less time of reaping good karma versus bad karma, only because most of the time people are choosing to do things that have a negative, or should I say an adverse effect on our lives and those around us, versus the things that are more prone to building not only ourselves, our lives, but the lives of people around us as well. With that being said, the Bible speaks of before a man can be brought up and delivered, he must be brought down. Now, how far God got to knock you down in order for you to be picked back up is up to you, because he say that only when we are low do we reach God and do we find God. So too many times in this world, when you would hear people, whether they're in the church or not, they'll say, God, they even said it to Job, bro, God, you must have did something that pissed God off. Because what happened to all your blessings, Job? Look at all this craziness that's coming your way. When Job did nothing but be a good and humble servant before God. Now, everybody thought Job was haughty. Everybody thought Job was boastful, only because of the blessings in which God outwardly ordained him with in the presence of his enemies. Now, God did say that he will bless you in the presence of your enemies. That's how you know when you're doing something right. When people overlook the struggle that you've been through, people overlook the beating that you've taken in order to receive the blessings in which you got. But everybody are so quick to say that you are of the devil. You ain't the first one that they've done this to. It's all through the Bible, how even the children, the members of the church or a building, the members of a building that they call a church, you hear it in the Bible complete all the time about how they too come against people that are being blessed by God. And so this is what this is about, breaking those cycles. Like, it's called the subconscious, and the subconscious is where all of our mastered programming go. So the things in which you was taught as a child are the very things that are running your life now, if you have yet to consciously identify with the cycles in which you have been doing since yay high, really. Then you will continue to repeat these cycles even when they no longer benefit your life. They might have benefited you as a child then to survive in that environment in which as a child you felt like you had no power or no authority to correct your life. And even still, I want to tell you, if you are a child watching this video, no, this is not a video for children, but you know they get a hold of everything nowadays. If you are a child watching this video, don't ever think that you are helpless. Don't ever think that you have no way of defending yourself. Prayer works for everyone. And if you being a child, praying to God has a hell of a lot more weight than these adults out here who have already been torn so far from God that their prayers take a little longer to be answered, because God got to do a little bit more to humble an adult being versus a child, because the Bible says be as innocent as a child, but as wise as a serpent. So I'm telling you by example, as a child, I went through a whole lot of adversity. Now, I'm never going to sit here and tell a child that the adversity in which they've endured in their childhood is because of their doing. I just not. I believe that you are a circumstance of your environment, and that circumstance in which you were put into is going to have to cause you to work a whole lot harder to break those detrimental cycles that were implanted in you as a child. If not, they will destroy you. That's why they are called generational curses. Now, you know these are generational curses. You can go look it up on YouTube or wherever you do your research in a book, and they're all going to give you the same basis of what makes it a cycle. If generation after generation, at least 3 generations back, you see this same adversity presenting itself in the structure of your home, your family, whether it be your home, your kids, your nieces, your nephew, your sisters, your brothers, it does not matter. You see that this is a pattern behavior that has taken place more than one generation in your family. That's how you know you're dealing with a generational curse. But it's that same mechanism is determining whether or not you are dealing with a generational blessing. Blessings can be passed forward from generation after generation. It has to be taught, though. And how can you reap those benefits of blessings versus the benefits of karma? Someone has to break the cycle. Every time someone in that family gives in to that cycle that has been destroying that family for generations after generations, then that family is becoming more and more prone to being devoured by that curse than they are to being rewarded by their blessings. And eventually it will become a family of satanic practice and rituals, because that's what generational cycles are. They're rituals, whether it's a ritual of blessings or a ritual of destruction. That is what we're passing along to our children, whether we know it or not. So be very careful of the things that you teach in your children. Don't say just because your parents did it to you, then I'm going to do it to my children too. If it did not benefit you, because we can create generational patterns as well. We can destroy our blessings now. And we can create patterns of destruction versus patterns of blessings. I'm in the business to create a pattern of blessings. And I can tell you, when you are coming against generational curses, it ain't nowhere near easy. You know why? Because you are probably the first one, or one of the very few in your family for generations. I'm talking hundreds of years, that has actually stood up to this demon that has hunted your family and said, enough is enough. It ends with me. I don't believe in secrets. Now, I don't believe in going out there telling everything either. But don't push nobody, because everything done in the dark shall come to the light. I am a strong believer that nothing is ever hidden. It just ain't found this season to be revealed. And that's just the truth. So when you're the one out here taking the time, you can save your whole generation. You can save generations before, after you. You can save the generation you're in now by choosing to be the one that's like, look, this right here ain't got our family nowhere. And you're going to see your children walking in these same pattern behaviors. And they're going to look at you like, man, you tripping. But they don't realize and understand that you're trying to save them from a destruction, a demon that has destroyed your family for generations on top of generations. And when you're doing things like that, you got to know that the demon that is over that curse, it does not want you to beat it. It wants to devour your entire family if it can. It's up to a member of your family to say, I've had enough. My family has had enough. My family has been through enough. Now, they all might hate you because they go look at you like you a rat. Your own family, now you trying to help them. But because they got so many secrets in their closet, I don't believe in all that. Because I believe in God. I don't believe in being a talebearer either. But when God pushes me forth to tell something, I'm going to tell it. Because I got to answer to you and I got to answer to God. And I choose to answer to God above all. So if God is telling you, you know when you pick, that's what it means to be chosen in your family. That don't mean you necessarily chosen by God, but you have been chosen by God to break those cycles in your family. And God is telling you that if you are bold enough to stand up and break these cycles, then I will reward you, because I can tell you, you're not going to break them without the help of God, because you're fighting demons. You're not fighting human beings. You're not fighting your family members. You're fighting principalities and spirits. And the only way to beat a spirit is in the spirit. So that's where God comes in. God is asking you to choose him so that he can help you overcome these demons that have been trying to destroy your family, so that your family can rejoin him in your blessings. That's what it means to break the cycle. Every time you give in to these demons that have destroyed your family, whether it's alcoholism, child molestation, rape, murder, blaspheming, child abuse, spousal abuse. It does not matter. The list goes on. Materialism, all greed, all these things can be curses. All families experience these things, but some families experience it on a massive generational scale. And that just means your family has been tagged by a demonic weakness. This is the weakness of your family. And it's someone in your family's job to break that weakness and make themselves strong enough to rekindle a new cycle of blessings. And that is going to be the person that reaps the reward. That's the person they normally call a black sheep. That's the one nobody wants to do nothing. Everybody wants to push away like they're a troublemaker. That's the one that rises up and achieves success in a family when no one else could, because they chose to get off their behind and they said, screw everything, screw everybody. I am tired of being held down by crap that I did not do. So I'm going to do something bigger than what was done to me. And I'm going to reverse this cycle, and I'm going to give this family something to shout about. That's what it means to break generational cycles. All right? 'Cause my soul is leaking and it's heavy.